As always, it is so great to have you here, and I hope you're staying safe and healthy out there. Anyways, today we're making a classic Spanish recipe that's not only very easy to make, but it's the kind of food that's going to make you feel like $1,000,000. We're talking Spanish lentils with rice. This is known as lentejas con arroz. And let me tell you, this dish has layer upon layer of so many simple yet delicious flavors. It's made with heart-healthy ingredients, and the best part, it's all done in about 40 minutes. Folks, serve these lentils with rice next to a crunchy baguette that's been sliced up and drizzled with olive oil and a bottle of Spanish red wine. More specifically from the region of Gutiérrez, you're gonna have yourself the best moment of your day. All right, let's just jump right into this. I'm gonna heat a stock pot with a medium heat and add in a generous 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, which is 35 milliliters. While the oil is heating, I'm gonna finely chop 1 small onion, roughly chop 4 cloves of garlic, finely chop 1 green bell pepper, and cut 2 carrots that have been peeled, each one into small bite-sized pieces. Then we'll add the chopped vegetables into the stock pot. And we'll mix them around, that way they're all coated in the olive oil. And as you know, I always like to mix this around continuously, that way everything evenly sautés. After 3 to 4 minutes and the vegetables are lightly sauteed, I'm going to add in 1 tablespoon of sherry vinegar, which is 15 milliliters. You can also use red wine vinegar here or even apple cider vinegar. We'll also add in 1 teaspoon of sweet smoked Spanish paprika, which is 2.5 grams. And half a teaspoon of ground cumin, which is 1.5 grams. And we'll give it a quick mix until it's well mixed together. As always, the Spanish paprika I'm using is from Kiva. Link where you can get some in the description box below, and if you buy it from that link, you'll also get 25% off your order. Then we'll add in half a cup of tomato sauce, which is 120 grams. As always, I made my sauce by finely grating fresh tomatoes, but you can also use canned tomato sauce here, or even passata if you like. And we'll give it a mix until it's well mixed together, and then simmer it for a few minutes. In the meantime, let's start getting our lentils ready. I'm going to add in 1 cup of dried lentils into a fine sieve, which is 130 grams, and rinse them under some water. For this recipe, I'm using green lentils, but you can also use the brown ones. Either way, when you're working with dried lentils, you don't have to soak them overnight. You just give them a quick rinse, and they're ready to go. After 3 to 4 minutes, and the tomato sauce has slightly thickened, we'll add in our rinsed lentils, and 4.5 cups of vegetable broth, which is a little over 1 liter. You can also use chicken broth here, beef broth, or even water if you like. Either way, link on how to make my homemade veggie broth in the description box below. And we'll also add in 1 bay leaf, and turn it up to a high heat, and give it a gentle mix. Once it comes to a boil, we'll place the lid on the stock pot and lower the fire to a low heat, and we're going to simmer this between 20 to 25 minutes until those lentils are just cooked through. In the meantime, let's start preparing our rice. I'm going to add in 3 cups of vegetable broth into a saucepan, which is 720 milliliters. Once again, you can also use chicken broth here, beef broth, or even water if you like. Then we'll season with sea salt and heat it with a high heat. Once it comes to a boil, it's time to add in the rice. I'm going to measure out 1 cup of rice, which is 190 grams, and add it into the saucepan. For this recipe, I'm using Spanish round rice, which is very similar to arborio rice. Of course, you can use any rice you like here. Just make sure to check the package instructions. That way your liquid to rice ratios are right on the money. And we'll gently mix the rice with the broth. And then we'll place the lid on the saucepan and lower the fire to a low-medium heat and simmer it for about 15 minutes or until that rice is just cooked through. Once again, important to check the package instructions in the rice that you're using, that way you perfectly cook it through. After about 15 minutes, and there's virtually no broth left in the saucepan, we'll remove it from the heat and let it sit there for a few minutes. You know, by leaving that lid on there and trapping that steam, it's going to ensure that each grain of rice is perfectly cooked through. After 2 to 3 minutes, we'll remove the lid, and using a fork, we'll gently fluff the rice. Okay, let's move back to the lentils. After 20 to 25 minutes, they should be perfectly cooked through. You know, you can always give one of them a try just to ensure that they're done. If you see that yours need more time, you simmer it longer and add in more liquid as needed. For the final step, I'm going to season everything with sea salt and freshly cracked black pepper. And we'll give it a gentle mix until everything's well mixed together. And like I've told you in the past, when you're working with dried beans, you want to season them at the end. If you season them beforehand, it's going to take them longer to cook and it might end up with a tough texture. And then we'll remove the stock pot from the heat. Alright, let's start assembling our dish. I'm going to add in some of the rice into a shallow bowl. And then some of the lentils next to the rice. And for the final touch, we'll garnish with some chopped fresh parsley. Check it out, lentejas con arroz, Spanish lentils with rice, restaurant quality presentation, super easy to make, and all done in about 40 minutes. Let's give it a try and see how it turned out. Once again, folks, lentejas con arroz, and I tell you, I feel like I'm coming down with something right now, so you know this is gonna hit the spot. A little bit of everything. Here we go. Still piping hot. Look how beautiful. That right there is truly food for the soul. So many great flavors. The lentils are beautifully cooked. They absorb everything in the pan, and that rice rounds it up for the perfect balance of goodness. Give it a try at home. Heart healthy, easy to make. Once again, serve it next to a crunchy baguette, slice it up and drizzle it with some olive oil and a bottle of Spanish red wine from the region of Gutierrez. You're gonna have yourself the best moment of your day. Really quick before I go, a shout out to a couple of my patrons, Marco Steenbergen, Holly Parker, Rogelio Jr. Rivera, and Elaine Engros. Again, guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button. Leave me a comment below, and if you're not subscribed, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and click on the bell icon. That way you can get notified every time I release new content and to become a part of the Spain on a Fork family. Till the next time, hasta luego.